Wow. When you talk about like your anxiety, how can you describe day to day what that's like in terms of the panic attacks, and can you describe like what they actually are?
So back then, I'm very lucky. I haven't had a panic attack maybe 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I remember the last one I had in my friend's house when we were all my mates were drinking there, and it come on just out of nowhere with no prompt. So I just left the house by myself.
Wow.
Did some breath work outside. No one ever found out about it. I told my girlfriend who was there. But years ago, it would just be an intense feeling of paranoia. Either everyone's talking about me, looking at me, going to do something to me, and then uncontrollable shaking, cannot stop the mind, and then a breathing like you're literally feel like you're about to take your last breath. And you feel like you're going to die.
Wow.
It's the worst feeling in the world. And I didn't know what was going on at the time. And no one had ever explained a panic attack to me either. You feel like I was genuinely, every single time I was like, I'm going to die right now. And there's nothing making me do it. It's just happening.
Wow. Is it something like your lungs... Something about your lungs like closing up, or
feels like
it feels like, but it's not actually. I don't know
what the actual
like. Is it more of a mental thing?
Yeah.
Like, so it's not actually your lungs closing.
Well, I actually don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm not sure if it's you're physically losing space in your lungs.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's mental, but it has physical effects.
Yeah, that makes okay.
It's a mental disease, anxiety. But a panic attack, like I feel the physical effects of it. Like it'd be like someone having an asthma attack.
Yeah.
That is like doesn't have an inhaler nearby.
Yeah, really bad. Well, and then you said you like went outside to do breath work. Did you make the breath work up yourself, or did you kind of get advice? What kind of?
It's funny because when this all happened, I felt like I lost who I was as a person. And the way I explained it to everyone is I relearnt who I was as a person all by myself. And I felt like when it happened, I was robbed of who I was, especially because it wasn't my fault. So I think it wasn't my fault that I got roofied that night. And the effects of what happened on that night happened. Yeah. But I relearnt everything by myself. I didn't have any guidance because I had the psychologist. I reckon I did 3 sessions with him, and he was making me worse. So I didn't want to speak about it to anyone, so I ghosted him.
Because he claimed that you had depression at the time, where you probably thought you didn't.
I remember 100% because I didn't know what anxiety was in the first place. I knew the word. And then I'm learning what anxiety is. And the more that they tell you, the more he was telling me what it was, the more real it was becoming.
Yeah.
And he was saying then these symptoms happen. So then once he'd say that, then I'd get the symptom.
Wow. Yeah.
And then he was like, I remember coming into a session and he was asking me how I was feeling. And I was talking to him about it. And he said, have you considered that you've got depression? And it was another one of those moments where I was like, no, I haven't thought about it once. And then from that moment, I was depressed.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I don't know how to get out of this.
And then now that he's brought it up, you think about it.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I said to him like, no, I'm not. And he goes, I think you are. And then, look, he's a professional. He could have been right. And it could have just been one of those glass shattering moments where you realise what's going on. But I didn't feel comfortable with him. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because I'd love to spread the message seek professional help. This is a success story that I've had. Yeah. But I just personally didn't have that.
Yeah, well, you'd think from a psychologist, you'd probably get a bit more support than that. You'd certainly hope so. Yeah. That's for sure. So then, on your way into, getting out of that situation with your breathing work and everything else, what else did you do to get out of that area?
Time heals all wounds, I think. I wasn't born with anxiety. I think I developed it, obviously, from what happened. But I'm a very proactive person. So if I know something's going to happen, I'm happy to do the work to stop it. Look after myself, work out, eat healthy. I'd be happy to walk outside and stand in the grass and do breath work for 10 minutes if I know it means I'm going to have a better day. Whereas I think some people might not have the resilience or might not have the discipline, or what some people might think you need motivation to do, to be able to get out of bed when you really don't feel like it, to go do those things that are going to make you feel better.
Yeah.